Good evening, welcome. I'm just so excited and humbled to be here once again on a Tuesday evening. Normally, my Tuesday evenings are I take I they're my mental health evenings, and before coming on, I kind of just take time out for myself after come from my full-time job. But today, I actually had to do a class this evening, so it's been a long Tuesday, but guess what? I'm here, and I'm thankful for that. And I come on tonight just hoping that I inspire just one person to take heed to their mental health and take it seriously and you know time to focus on you. In other words, it's time to flip the script. And with that being said, I'm talking about 43.8 million people, Americans, experience some form of mental illness, whether it's from depression, bipolar disorders, schizophrenic. It's all a part of our mental health. In a given year, that's 1 year, not years, 1 year. And nearly 10 million of that 43.8 million are living with anxiety or depression. It's time to flip the script. I mean, when I tell you I get it, I get it. Because we struggle with some things. And it takes a lot of work to be who you were meant to be. Because you have pitfalls, you have highs, you have lows, you have times in your life where things just don't seem to work out and it takes you into a dark place. You have these visions of what you want to be, but it's not happening as fast as you would like it to be. And we stay stuck on saying, someday I'm going to do this. But it's time that we say, I can do this today. I'm going to flip the script. Because if you look at statistics and numbers, it's a lot of people that suffer from depression because they are afraid of being shamed. Of if they try to speak out or reach out, it's a sign of weakness. So therefore they stay in this dark place of hiding behind life experiences or things just not going according to their plan. Now, what I found, wow, very interesting, according to National History of Mental Health Department, and that's NIMHD. No, I'm sorry, NIMH, National Institution of Mental Health. I'm going to get it right. It's a mouthful. But according to them, depression is one of the most common mental disorders in America. And I work as a pharmacist technician. So I kind of know a little bit of the ins and outs about medication. Now, if you're depressed and you go to the doctors and they prescribe you an antidepressant, do you know it takes that medicine about 2 to 4 weeks to even make you feel better or feel different or just not feel so low about different things? You know what can happen to you within 2 to 4 weeks if you already depressed, you already in a dark place. So then you weigh your options. I don't know if I got 4 weeks to sit around and wait for this medication to kick in. So what do I do in the meantime? It's time to flip the script. You have to reach out. You have to talk about it. And I know that sounds easy, but it's very hard. But you got to find what tools work for you. Like, for instance, this jar, one step at a time, one day at a time, sometimes 1 hour at a time. Take your thoughts, write them down on a piece of paper, put it in the jar. If you got to talk to yourself in the mirror, if you got to take your phone and instead of taking a selfie, record yourself as if you're talking to someone. You have to find some sort of tool to flip this script, because this is all script. This is all numbers. This is all statistics. We have to get away from what they think, what they say, and we have to make a difference in our own lives. And in order to do that, you have to do the work. And I get it. It's hard being you. It's hard being me. If I could tell you what it's like, my everyday struggles, getting up, putting on clothes, it takes a lot. But you're worth it. And you're worth flipping the script. And it's not about telling yourself, someday I'm going to do this. Put your words into action. You can do this, whether it's 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, or 1 moment at a time. What I did, I kind of got off of what I was getting ready to say. What I found very interesting was there's 2 types of alcoholism. There's a type 1 and there's a type 2. Interesting, right? Diabetes. There's a type 1 diabetes and there's a type 2 diabetes. But see, society don't talk about that to us. You don't see that flooding your timeline. You don't see that flooding your Google. You don't see that all over the news. There's a type 1 alcoholism, which is when someone starts to drinking over the age of 25, and they do it to fit in, to get courage to talk, or just to be able to be in the crowd, excuse me. And then you have the type 2, and that type is like type 2 diabetes. It's you were born with it or at a younger age. Well, alcoholism type 2 is when you start drinking alcohol at under the age of 25. So can you imagine starting to drink alcohol at 14, 15 years old, and it just progresses. It progresses. And before you know it, you're 27 and you're alcoholic. You're alcoholic, and you need the alcohol in order to be who you think you ought to be, what society tells you to be. And it's difficult. It's a difficult situation for a lot of us. But it's time to flip the script. You know why? Because alcoholism kills, just like diabetes does, just like high blood pressure does, just like what else is it? Cancer. It's all in the same category. It's a disease that we have a little more control of it, I think personally, than high blood pressure, than cancer, than diabetes. So I'm coming from you from an angle that it's up to you. Are you ready to flip the script? Are you ready to be all you can be without being hindered, without being in bondage, in captivity to suppressing who you are? So I basically, that's really all I have tonight. But I want to leave you with that. Think about it. Ponder on how many times you said, today is the day, or someday I'm going to stop doing this. That someday could be years away. You have to take heed to who you are and do it today. I watched a good movie on Apple. I don't want to really tell you all about it because then you won't watch it. It's called Palmer, Palmer, and Justin Timberlake was Palmer. And most of you out there got iPhones. I don't know if you have Apple TV, but you know what? It's worth the $4.99 because Apple is $4.99 a month, I think, or something like that, $5.99. It's worth it to get it just for that month and to watch that. And just how he really wanted to make a change in his life. But we go through some stuff in our lives that hinders us. But when you find fit to get it right, you'll get it right. And that's all I have. Next week, next Tuesday is my birthday. I won't be here next Tuesday. I'm not going to come on next Tuesday. And I'm looking forward to seeing you New Year's. That's it, New Year's. And it's starting in January. I'm working on, for January, starting somewhat of a lineup and trying to have people on talking mental health and giving us some tips and helping us along this journey, that you're not alone. Some of the best of us deal with mental health issues every day, but you wouldn't know it. But they are. And I want those people to come on. I want those people to share so we can all do this together and identify where your mental health matters. Y'all be blessed. Have a good evening. I love each and every one of y'all. And just thank you again. Give me feedback. I love corrective criticism because we in this together. God bless. Love y'all.